So we are talking about silage making from Napier grass. Napier grass is a very important animal feed, and at the moment now we are chopping it. All right, we are looking at first of all looking at its growth stage. So look at the stage. This is 4 months old, and according to me, this is the right stage if you want to make silage. But if you are feeding it fresh, please cut it when it is still shorter, because at that time the protein content is very good for this pakchong. You can still get up to 18% protein, but this particular one, the protein content has dropped. So we are talking about maybe protein content of about 12%. But it is okay for us. We shall supplement it later on, because what we are looking for is what is called dry matter content. We want it to be as high as possible. That means we want reduced moisture. So the dry matter content should be between 30 and 35%. That is very good for silage fermentation, because excess moisture can lead to spoilage of silage. So we are going to look at also how it is chopped. But this was allowed to stay for about 4 months, and we have, after cutting it, it has lasted for about 3 days under the sun, and you can see the wilting is really achieved. That means a lot of water has been expelled, which is very important to reduce the moisture inside the silo. All right. Now, if you look at this heap, it is not good to keep it in a heap like this for too long, because if you leave it like this on a heap like this, there is a lot of air in between, because it is loose, it is not yet compacted. So this loose, if you leave it for long, then there is a lot of microbial activity. It can start to get spoiled. So it is very important not to heap like this. You better leave it to dry in the field, and then when you bring it, chop it as quickly as possible. But because we had to transport, we left it as a heap. But you should not leave it for long, but we left it overnight. Otherwise, it can lead to spoilage. Now we are going to chop. You can see how we are chopping now. All right. So this is chopping. Now the forage chopper is here, and it is chopping it. Of course, you can see how it is being fed, and to make the machine to be very efficient, look at this. Can you hear the noise? That noise reflects that the machine is now active. But if you see when there is no material inside, the machine is running for free. That is wastage. So you have to make sure that you have enough labor that is bringing the material from there for chopping. So you can see this is wastage, in the sense that there is a time lapse in between when the machine has material and when it's empty. Efficiency is about when the machine is making noise. You can now hear that. Look at that. That is the right sound that should be coming out of the machine, which ensures that the machine is being used efficiently. All right? And then also look at the way they are feeding. 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 So it's about skill. Look, overfeeding, that is overloading the machine. That is not right. Okay? So the machine should be given enough material, not excess. Alright? And then also look at the rear part of the machine, of the Napier grass. The lower part should be the first one to go, not the leaves. Okay? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. To ensure that the machine is used effectively, you must make sure that there is enough labor of people bringing in the material. Okay? Put it now. Put it now. So people should be following each other. Look at, this is the wrong way. This is the wrong way. This is the wrong way. That is the wrong way. They should not be putting the leaves first. look at the chopping material. We can say that it's about between 8 and 10 millimeters of length, which is good. And also, there are no threads. If you get too much of this, that will not be good. It should be as fine as possible. And once you have fine material, that means your compaction will be good. Now, in terms of moisture content, look at, if I'm pressing it like this, there is no water coming down, coming out of it. Very little. Yeah, there is still plenty of water here. Okay, so when you press like this, there should be just very little water coming out of it, which tells you that the dry matter content is between 30 and 35%, which is very good. Okay, and then also the fact that the chopping is very effective. It is only 8 to 10 millimeters. It means compaction will be effective. Compaction is about expelling air, expelling oxygen, because oxygen allows respiration, allows decay, allows wrong or spillage of the material. So we want to move this material as quickly as possible from plenty of air to airtight. We have to reduce the air as quickly as possible to make it airtight, to make it air free. There should be no air inside, so that the fermentation that is taking place is anaerobic. Anaerobic means fermentation without air. That will lead to what is called lactic acid production, because the sugar in the molasses that has been added and a bit of sugar that is in the material, in the silage itself, in the Napier itself, will be converted. The sugar will be converted to lactic acid. Lactic acid will be produced en masse. It will be produced in plenty. It will be a lot inside the silo. Once this material is air free, lactic acid takes place, lactic acid production takes place. The lactic acid will now kill all sorts of bacteria, be it good bacteria, be it bad bacteria, will be killed. And once all of it is killed, that means there is no other activity inside the silage. That ensures that the silage will be preserved, and this silage can stay here for 5 years. So what things are very important? One is that the Napier grass was left to overgrow so that the dry matter content reaches between 30 to 35%. Two, it was left to wilt after cutting for about 2 days to ensure that all the moisture is reduced or expelled completely from the leaves, so that the moisture content is maintained at 30 to 35%, which we have already managed. Another thing is that when you bring your Napier from the field, you should not leave it as a heap like this one for too long, because that will encourage aerobic fermentation or spoilage or rotting, because the air inside will lead to spoilage. So you have to chop it as quickly as possible, the way we are doing it now, and then make sure that the chopping length is attained, which is between 8 and 10 millimeters. If we are using a chaff cutter, it might go slightly long. Now this is a forage harvester. This is a forage harvester, this machine. This is not a chaff cutter. The forage harvester makes sure that the material is cracked or crushed. Chaff cutter will cut it like this. And if you cut it like that, you will find that the cells will still retain water. You will find that the material, if it is not crushed, will retain a lot of water. That water will lead to spoilage of the silage. So this forage harvester here is very important, because it crushes the material, it doesn't chop like this. Alright? Thank you very much.